Steeler Nation, welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. Yeah, I played that in my live just recently with the fellas from Steelers Dynasty podcast with Bubba and Shane. But each week, I want to keep doing this little thing, talking about the Gauntlet, because everyone in NFL media terms from AFC North was saying that the next 8-9 games was going to be really tough, and the Steelers were facing the Gauntlet. Well, if the Gauntlet started 2 weeks ago, they took care of business with a 1-point win, 28-27 over the Commanders. However, that wasn't the Gauntlet. Then the Gauntlet started versus the Ravens when we beat them 18-16, and Chris Boswell got all the field goals and broke NFL history. That's the Gauntlet, right? So I played that video, and one big shout out to NSMC99, Cameron McCraken Music. In his he's a music composer, and I'll put down in the description below his website if you want to go check him out. So he makes like film music, all that kind of stuff. He's the bloke here that does all the music, all the stuff in the background. So I appreciate your time and energy to make the music for this channel. It's fantastic. And that's like a bit of a throwback to Sega or Sega, how you guys pronounce it, in the 90s, and a kind of like 90s arcade music. And the Gauntlet, let's talk about this Gauntlet, right? I keep telling you guys out there from Steeler Nation or wherever you're from, if you're a Ravens fan or whatever. By the way, Ravens suck. I keep telling you guys out there because we beat the Ravens. I keep telling you, they have to play us too. The game coming up, Steelers versus Browns. It's Jameis Winston. It's Nick Chubb. It's Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett today talked about T.J. Watt and the trophy and the defensive player of the year. And you know what? He said that, like, I'm paraphrasing, but Myles Garrett was talking about, like, I'm not complaining that if I didn't get it, right? It's a 2-horse race. But the defensive player of the year right now could go to a lot of players. It could go to Trey Hendrickson. It could go to the guy from the Giants, or guys that are getting more sacks and stuff like that. TJ Watt isn't getting the amount of sacks where he's leading it, where he's leading the conversation. But he's definitely up there for just to debate to be defensive player of the year. So we're versing the Browns this week. Myles Garrett's talking. He's chirping. Nick Chubb, I like him as a running back, and the Browns are part of this Gauntlet because we have to go to their house. Then we stay in Ohio, and we go to the Bengals. Then we come back to Heinz Field to versus the Browns again, right? Mike Tomlin too should also be in consideration. I've been talking about for weeks now for Coach of the Year. Mike Tomlin, he's beaten the Ravens, he's beaten the Commanders. If he goes and beats the Bengals, then he should be in top consideration for Coach of the Year, right? So let's look at this Gauntlet because they keep telling us it's going to be really tough, it's really hard. Steelers haven't played anyone yet. That's the narrative you hear. When you go to the Gauntlet, I mean, I've showed this photo a million times. It's the last 9. Actually, no, let's go back one more to the first 8 games. So Steelers beat the Falcons, which are now a playoff team. The Steelers beat the Broncos, which are a playoff team. Steelers beat the Chargers. Well, hang on a minute. Playoff team, right? The Steelers lost to the Colts, lost to the Cowboys. Colts are trying to be a playoff team. We then beat the Raiders, Jets, and Giants. So we went in that stretch 6-2, and then they made the change as well with Russell Wilson. Mike Tomlin made the change. It's all worked out well. Now this offense looks like they're going to use Justin Fields somehow, some way. I don't mind him in the passing game. I don't mind him as another threat, running the ball, like in the play action pass or whatever it may be. I don't mind Fields. I think Arthur Smith will put Fields in the right position to be successful, as we saw versus the Ravens. So those are the first 8 games. We went 6-2, and here's the Gauntlet, right? Commanders, Ravens, beat them. They went to Washington, got the job done. AFC North game versus the Ravens, got the job done. Now, here's the game coming up in like 2 days. So it is my Wednesday, then Thursday, then my Friday will be your Thursday night football. So 2 days away on a short week. Don't worry about this trap game. I don't think there's any sense to be AFC North trap game. It doesn't really happen in the AFC North. It's two competitors fighting one another. The Browns have really nothing to fight for except to be spoiler, where they want to beat the Steelers because they're the Steelers. There's no real extra ammo to win playoff games to get them ready for a playoff push. They're essentially done. Being 2-8, all they can really do now is play spoiler in part of this Gauntlet, right? So we have Baltimore, we've beaten them, Browns, Bengals, Browns to round up at the very start of the season. I think a lot of Steelers fans are like, oh my goodness, we can't play, 4 AFC North games in a row. What's going to happen? Well, what's happening right now is that they're taking them to town. They're playing good football. They're playing very physical. Cameron Hayward's not worried about it. TJ Watt's not worried about it. They're playing like physical football, being AFC North football. I'm not worried about it because they have to play us too. Remember that. I've been saying that for weeks. Then we have the Eagles, Baltimore Ravens, KC Chiefs coming up very soon. Steelers versus Chiefs on Christmas Day. Then to round out, playing the Bengals. So you'll see this around town. You'll see that in the national media, Good Morning Football. You'll see many podcasts, many Steelers podcasts. You'll see many fans out there saying, Ravens fans are saying, you didn't win the game, we lost the game. If only we scored 2 field goals, we would have had it. If we didn't turn the ball over, then we would have won the game. Oh, you only won by 2 points. You should have taken care of the Ravens defense, which is like 29th or 30th. The Ravens should have scored more points if we didn't turn the ball over. All those different narratives, all that different crap. The key is that the Baltimore Ravens came to Heinz Field and they thought they could get the job done by scoring 30. Lamar Jackson is now 1-4, part of this gauntlet, right? So we had 2 for 2 on this gauntlet, this AFC North war zone. The gauntlet, the Steelers are 2 for 2. And when they walk into a hostile environment, that is Cleveland. They've won there before. The teams won there. Big Ben had the best record there. When they walk into Cleveland with their chest out, their head up, and ready to go, terrible towels waving, Browns fans sulking, sobbing because their season's over, right? What do the Browns really have to play for? The Steelers, however, can get this done. I don't care if you win by 7, 17, 25, 24, 1.2 points. Don't care. Walk into Cleveland, get the job done, run the ball. Russell Wilson bounce back from his performance where it was like average to good, make it great. Najee, hand the ball to him. Warren, he's getting fitter. Like he played good football last week. And 2 weeks ago, he had a fumble, but he played good football last week against the Ravens. Don't care. Walk into Cleveland, get the job done, and make it 3 for 3. Don't worry about this fear-driven narrative, drama narrative that the Steelers and the Browns could be a trap game. It can't be a trap game when it's AFC North football. They're going to run the rock hard. They got Nick Chubb. They've got their blokes out there, Myles Garrett, their defense, secondary, Denzel Ward. They got those blokes, right? They're going to play tough football. It should be a lot of fun. Steelers versus Browns, Thursday night, short week, get the job done, move to 3-3, and then on the weekend, we can watch the Ravens, the Harbaugh Bowl, again, the Harbaugh Bowl with the Ravens versus Chargers. And Chargers could take care of the Ravens and send them down another peg to go 7-3 to go 7-4 or something like that, right? What are they, 7-4? Or they're 7-3. No, they're 7-4. Wow, the Ravens are 7-4, right? They were 7-3. They could knock them to 7-5. And we could improve to 9-3 on the season and starting getting ready for that playoff push. Mike Tomlin can go above 500. I know a lot of fans don't like that, but if he does it again, this will be one of the best teams he's got for our Steelers in 10 years or whatnot for a chance to move further than the wild card round. My aspiration, my dream now is for the Steelers to get number 1 draft seed. Like Bills to fall over, Chiefs to fall over. If we can win some games out, go and get the number 1 draft seed. Number 1 playoff seed. If they get that, they're in good position to verse the team next after that. And you're only going to win 3 games to win the Super Bowl. So I'm getting too far ahead of myself, but it doesn't matter. People are talking about the gauntlet, the AFC North war zone, whatever it is. Remember, the Steelers, these teams have to play the Steelers too. The defense is playing tough. Offensive line's playing tough. Najee's playing tough. Same with Warren. Wilson's killing it. George Pickens is killing it. Our defense is on fire with Herbig and TJ and Minka and Cam. Our defense is on fire right now. And our special teams, led by Chris Boswell and the gunners on the outside with Ben Skowronek and James Pierre, are absolutely on fire too. So remember, this gauntlet, they have to play us too. These teams have to play us too. It's a 5-star matchup because we're in it.